this is a quick reference to airway and bronchoscopy, including sizes for the rigid and flex bronchoscopes and ET tubes, some cleaning instructions, as well as some anatomy of the bronchial tree. All right, some formulas here for determining the proper ET tube size and depth, which is the numbers at the teeth or gum. There are other variations to these. These are just some more common ones. And then tables here of uncuffed and cuffed ET tube internal and outside diameters. The size ET tube, 30, 40, 50 tube, etc., that refers to the internal diameter. The outside is obviously a little thicker. Formerly, cuffed ET tubes were about a ½ millimeter thicker on the outside than their uncuffed counterparts. However, there's a new set of micro-cuff ET tubes with a slightly different polymer. And you can see that, for example, the 30 with a micro cuff is relatively similar in outer diameter to the 30 uncuffed counterpart. Here are some common flexible bronchoscopes. We actually do not have this one here at CHW. You can see the smallest one, the BFN20, does not have an instrument channel. It's for diagnostic purposes only. I've listed the minimum ET tube size for these to fit down. You need a few extra fractions of a millimeter to get them down. The XP190, which is listed as a 2.8 millimeter tube, actually refers to the outer diameter here. Towards the tip where it flexes, there's slightly increased thickness, which is why I have 3.1 inch wide. It won't fit down a 3.0 ET tube. These two do have an instrument channel of 1.2 millimeters, which you can put certain things down. The instruments at CHW little fit. We have the FB56D1 biopsy forceps, which is a small, tiny little grasper, but the jaws open a little bit wide, so it's not as useful for foreign bodies. That's located in the GI closet. There's a bunch of urology graspers and baskets towards the back of the OR supply area. In particular, the Encompass is useful because unlike the other baskets, which have wide open areas, there's this kind of parachute-like thing where you can sneak it past the object, open it, and then drag it out and sometimes catch it. Here is a table of our rigid bronchoscopes, just like the ET tubes. The size is referring to the internal diameter, and the outside diameter is going to be a little bit bigger. I've listed here the similar ET tubes outside diameter to the outside diameter of the rigid bronchoscope, so that if you have someone who's already intubated and you're thinking about what rigid bronchoscope is similar to their current ET tube size, you can refer to that, as well as some common ages, although there can be individual variation with stenosis or focal cord edema. There is now a set of mini optical instruments with a 1.3 millimeter telescope that will fit down the smallest of the rigid bronchoscopes. In the bigger sizes, there's a 2.9 millimeter telescope in various lengths with a variety more graspers, more options available. Here is a couple-minute video about how to clean the bronchoscope after you're done with it.
Okay, I'm here with Chris Witzak, who's going to show you all how to do this properly so you can stop writing emails and getting emails. Go ahead, Chris.
So this is the first step, and this is for any flexible bronch or EGD scopes you use or colonoscopes. Make sure you hook up the suction. You're going to reach in here, bring out the sponge, go from top to bottom, and then you just put this in here and suck it up till it's gone.
Too right, Mike.
It takes a little longer with the flexible because it's such a small channel. But with the EGD scopes, this takes like 10 seconds.
Man, we're going to have to cut this from the video. It's taking way too long.
Yeah. Or we can tell a joke.
Oh, yeah, tell some jokes.
We can tell a joke. We can tell about how my house was robbed.
Chris's house was robbed. That's the end of the joke. We just find it funny that anything bad happens to
They
him.
didn't take anything of value. All they took was the fruit. And now I'm still peachless.
So funny you said it that wrong?
That was the third time I've told that joke today, actually.
Why did the blind man fall into the well?
Why?
He couldn't see that well.
Wah, wah. Okay, so that's that. Now you want to, for about 20 seconds, just suck air through this. With the EDD scope and colonoscope is about 30 seconds. You want to suck air through it.
That's what I would tell the interns when I was a chief resident. I'd say, well, you're just sitting around there for sucking air. Use up all the air in the room.
Okay, now that that's done, just disconnect it, take all the plastic stuff off. And here's how they want to see it sent back in the container.
So you took all the plastic stuff off and you're leaving this attachment hooked up to the cart. You're not taking that with you.
Nope, just this. Now there's two scopes here, so make sure we're going to need this bigger one. This scope was never opened. It was in the plastic container the whole time, but because it was in the room with the patient, it is considered dirty and needs to be processed.
Oh, sorry about that, mate.
No, that's okay. It's no big deal. So you put the heavy side of the side that goes in the machine down first, and then you want it to follow the natural curves. It'll naturally lay flat, kind of. And this part needs to be on top. The really delicate camera part. I'm told it's between $5,000 and $15,000 to have this fixed. And then you take this on the weekends, like today, to the dirty elevator by room 4. During the week, it goes to a special procedures room. There's a room that says, I think it says scope processing, and you just put it on the table there.
All right, and that's all, people. All right, cheers.
Following cleaning of the bronchoscope and placing it in the bin, remove the clean tag from the bin, put your date, time, initial on it, and take it to the HUC. Ask them to arrange for SPD pickup, which is an epic order. Wipe the bronch cart with this purple wipes and wipe the screen of the bronch cart with these wipes. Then return the cart to the closet and fill the sign-out sheet. Here are papers we were given by the ICUs to make sure that this is happening. I'll stay on this for another 20 seconds so you can read and refer to it. One more about how to place it. The thing that they were most recently having trouble with is that the lightest part, the tip, they want to be on the top so that it's not getting crushed by the heavier things. All right, and here's a little picture of the bronchial tree. Easiest way to navigate is starting from the carina. There's a little D shape, and the posterior part is membranous, which extends down into the rest of the bronchial tree. In 1 in 250 people, there can be a takeoff of the right upper lobe directly off the trachea. That can sometimes cause problems if the opening is narrow, air trapping, infections, things like that. One navigation technique in the right upper lobe is one of the only places in the most common anatomy where you'll see 3 openings, the Mercedes sign. And as you're going down into the right lower lobe, if you're questioning where you are, the middle lobe comes off anterior, and the superior or apical branches of the lower lobe for both the right and the left come off posteriorly. All right, good luck and happy bronching.